Okay, so picture this. On a green hillside in Ireland, there's a monument so ancient it completely messes with our idea of history. This place, it wasn't just built with stone, it was built with sunlight and secrets. So let's dive in and figure out what makes this structure just so incredible.
This is Newgrange. Now get this, it was built around 3100 BC. That means it's about 500 years older than the Great Pyramid of Giza and centuries older than Stonehenge. We're talking about one of the most important megalithic structures in all of Europe, without a doubt.
And for thousands of years, it just sat there, totally silent. Its real purpose basically lost to time. But you have to understand, this was never just a mound of earth and rock. No, this was a machine, a device, engineered by its Neolithic builders for one single, absolutely breathtaking moment.
The entire thing is basically a giant celestial clock, built to mark this one exact moment in time. Its creators literally harnessed the sun to conquer the darkness of midwinter, and what happens when they do is, well, it's nothing short of magic.
To really understand Newgrange, you have to start with its most famous feature. It's this stunning piece of astronomical engineering that, even after thousands of years, still works perfectly.
Right above the main doorway, there's this small opening. It's famously called the roofbox. The best way to think of it is like a keyhole for the sun, and it was designed with just unbelievable precision to catch the very first rays of light on one specific day of the year.
So, on the morning of the winter solstice, just as the sun peaks over the horizon, a golden beam of light shoots right into that roofbox. This is the only time all year that this happens. That beam of light just pierces the total, absolute blackness inside.
And that one beam of light travels 60 feet down this long, stone-lined passageway. It creeps slowly across the floor until it completely floods the very heart of the monument, this incredible, cross-shaped chamber deep inside the mound.
The precision here is it's astonishing. The entire event, from the first little sliver of light getting in to the last bit leaving, lasts for just 17 minutes. That's it. For the other 364 and a bit days of the year, that chamber is in total darkness.
So, the big question is, how did a Neolithic society, a society without metal tools, without even the wheel, build something so massive and so precise? Let's take a look at the engineering behind this incredible mound.
I mean, the sheer scale of it is just staggering. The whole mound is made of an estimated 200,000 tons of earth and stone. Archaeologists figure it would have taken a dedicated crew of hundreds of people at least 30 years to finish it.
And it's not just big, it's also incredibly complex. You've got this massive circular mound, we're talking almost the size of a football field, that was originally covered in this brilliant white stone. And inside, you have that long passage leading to the central chamber with its high corbelled roof. All of it surrounded by these huge engraved stones called curbstones.
So here you can see the blueprint, right? The hidden skeleton of the whole monument. And right next to it is that famous entrance stone. This single stone weighs about 5 tons, and it's covered in these hypnotic triple spirals. It's really the face of Newgrange, an absolute masterpiece of megalithic art.
And that art, it isn't just at the entrance, it's all over the monument. I mean, they even carved these mysterious symbols on stones that were hidden from view for millennia. The thinking is that these weren't just decorations. They held some deep symbolic, maybe even astronomical meaning for the builders.
So who were these people? Well, they were Ireland's first farmers. And they were a really sophisticated society, totally capable of organizing these huge community projects that required immense planning, engineering skill, and just unbelievable dedication.
This timeline really puts its lifespan into perspective, doesn't it? After it was built, it was used as this vital ceremonial center for about 1,000 years, and then it just fell into ruin and became a memory. Eventually, its entrance collapsed, sealing it off from the world.
And just think about the logistics for a second. The builders sourced materials from all over the place. The brilliant white quartz came from 50 kilometers to the south, and the dark granite cobbles, 50 kilometers to the north. All of these massive stones were transported without wheels, probably by boat, and then hauled uphill, by hand. Just incredible.
So this all brings us to the ultimate question. Why? Why build it? For centuries, the debate has pretty much focused on 2 main theories. Was it a tomb for the dead, or a temple for the sun?
The evidence for it being a tomb is pretty strong, right?
They found human remains and grave goods inside, which suggests a Neolithic cult of the dead. But the case for it being a temple is just as powerful. I mean, the entire structure is built around that Winter Solstice alignment. So maybe it was both. A tomb for the powerful dead who were then reborn with the sun each year.
But hold on, because recent scientific analysis has thrown a totally fascinating and pretty controversial new theory into the mix, and it's all thanks to DNA evidence from human remains found deep inside that main chamber.
And here it is. This is the bombshell. DNA analysis of a man who was buried in the most sacred part of the chamber revealed his parents were brother and sister. Now, this was not a common practice in that society. In fact, it was a massive taboo.
So what does that mean? Well, if you look across other cultures, this kind of incestuous union was almost exclusively practiced by elite royal families who thought of themselves as divine, like the pharaohs of Egypt. They did it to keep their bloodline pure. This is a huge clue that the person buried in Newgrange belonged to a powerful, maybe even godlike social elite.
And this is where it gets truly mind-bending. It's how the memory of this ancient science might have actually survived for thousands of years. Not in stone, but in stories.
Okay, so ancient Irish mythology, which was written down thousands of years after Newgrange was abandoned, tells this story of a god-king named Dagda. And in a story that's centered on this exact place, he casts a spell to make the sun stand still to hide a secret birth.
And here's where it all just clicks together. The scientific name for the event Newgrange was built to capture is the solstice. It's a Latin word, and it literally means sun stand still. It is an absolutely incredible echo of a scientific reality preserved for millennia in a myth.
So from a tomb for a literal god king to a mythical palace where the sun stands still, Newgrange connects us directly to our most distant ancestors. It proves that even 5,000 years ago, people looked to the sky with wonder, and they were brilliant enough to capture its light in stone. It really makes you wonder, what other secrets did they know that we have yet to rediscover?